Hey everyone, today I'm going to walk you through an update to my course, which is the latest course that I've been working on, creating custom e-learning with Claude Design. And really it answers the question, can we create a full custom e-learning course from A to Z inside of AI? This essentially is the way that you can do that, how you can create a course fully inside of Claude and SCORM wrap it and everything like that, have it tracked inside of your learning management system. So I walk you through A to Z on how to get started. Now, something to keep in mind is it does take a lot more work than some people might realize. You could go in and you can have AI do a lot of the work, but I walk you through a lot more of the structure and walk you through how to exactly how to track different things, how to SCORM wrap different things, how to send over quiz data, all of that. So let's go ahead and dive in. You can head on over to my website at learningdojo.ninja. And if you just go up to courses, right now it is the very first course that you can see. And if you click on that course, it will take you to all of the different content. So I'm going to view this as a learner here. And you can see that this is the course as you go through it. We have the introduction, so just talking about the goal, getting to know the course, also designing for Claude. So we use Claude Design to go in and build all the different components and all the different pages and do the initial design inside of Claude Design, not the entire course, because we don't know exactly what all of the different pages are to begin with, but we go in and we just do the initial designs that give us a good starting point when we move over to Claude Code. Once we're inside of Claude Code, we build on top of that. We build the structure, we build all of that stuff, because Claude Design is great for the design and for the initial start, but I would not build a full course from A to Z inside of Claude Design. Yes, it builds HTML, but there's a lot more that Claude Code can do that is more complex, but also offers a lot more capability than what Claude Design does. So we dive into that, talk about designing different types of pages, designing the title page, some basic layout pages as well. Then we get into GitHub. And if you're not familiar with GitHub, it allows you to create a version and to create a backup of your course. Because especially with AI, if you're working with AI, things could go wrong, or it could completely overwrite things or do something that you were not expecting it to do. And if you're backing it up inside of GitHub, you can revert back to different versions if necessary. So we spend a lot of time on GitHub just getting you familiar with a tool that makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to know terminal, you don't have to know any type of command prompts or anything like that. So once we do GitHub, we then dive into Claude Code. And so we start talking about designing custom pages, so creating a tab interaction. We also create different course completion pages. We create regular resources, like download additional resources inside of there. We create a flip card. We create adding images to our project and how we can add images. We then start to store our data inside of what's called JSON. If you're at all familiar with xAPI, xAPI data is structured in JSON, so this is the same way. The benefit to this is the fact that we can keep our content separate from our visuals. And you may be asking yourself, well, what's the benefit of that? It allows us to translate our course into different languages. So eventually we get into translating, and that's down a little bit, but we get into translating our course into different languages and even having Claude do the translation, the initial translation for us. And having our data separate allows us to also send it over to a translation company. It makes translation and the whole translation workflow, it's extremely nice. We are setting a foundation in this course to make it reusable. So it's not just creating one course inside of Claude Design. It is creating a foundation that can be reused over and over and over, so we don't have to use all of our initial credits every time we want to create a new course. That is really the goal of this course, is to not just create one course with AI, but to create a foundation that you could create several courses one after the other. Now, authoring tools allow you to do this. This is basically what I would suggest is use this in situations where the authoring tool like Storyline, Captivate, Rise, or anything like that doesn't solve the need. And that's really my philosophy, is it's not about one tool over the other. It is about what is needed for that project. Do I need to create something custom? Great. Well, let's use AI to be able to create something custom. Do I need to be able to just create something quickly? Great. Let's use Rise to create something quickly. Do I need to create not, a simple presentation and create some interactivity in it. Great, let's use Storyline. So it's not that one tool is going away. It's just basically that whatever is solving the need, whatever you need to create. Sometimes you need to create custom. Sometimes you use Storyline. Sometimes you use Captivate, different things like that. All right, so once we get into the quiz, we then just go into adjusting our course player, making sure our player is also responsive. So just adapting to the different sizes. We then get into translation, and then we start talking about SCORM, and we start talking about xAPI. And we dive into how easy it is to actually create xAPI. If you have not at all used xAPI, it allows you to create additional tracking and more complex tracking, and this makes it a whole lot easier. So you don't have to know all of the different xAPI code. You basically just tell the AI, send over a statement like this, send over a statement like that. It's still good, just like with any tool, it is still good to know the components and still know the basic, but you don't have to be the one to know the code. And that's the key difference there. And then we wrap up the course, which I'm about to film in the next couple of days, of how to make it reusable, how to create a Word template to help us create new versions of this course really quickly. So I'll be diving into that and recording that. I usually record a bunch and then just edit the videos a couple of times at night and release those videos. So right now there is an early bird special. If you go into the courses section, I right now am still offering it as an early bird special. Early bird Claude is the code, and it will apply automatically when you check out there. Right now I'm offering it till the end of the month. I don't know if I'll offer a little bit longer, but that is something that will be a limited time there. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the course itself. And you really can design this course in any way that you want. This is the way that I designed it. I designed it in Claude Design, and this is the kind of the structure of it, and all of the different pages kind of follow the same theme. And I also created a style guide inside of Claude Design that helps me create future courses. Let me actually show you this part, is we did create a docs file. So in this docs file, it basically creates, I have AI create a document file that will help me with future courses of how different pages are. So like the audio page, the text and image page, what I need for that, and then also SCORM, localization, all of that is inside of here as well. So here's the course all built with Claude Code. So we have our title page, we have a menu on the left-hand side that will keep track of our progress. We also have navigation down at the bottom. So we have different page types. It'll keep track of our page number. We have a progress bar below. This is more like Storyline where it's page by page, but it's also responsive. So as I adjust this here, let me go ahead and just move that. Notice how it adapts to the screen size. And so it is definitely mobile friendly, and you can view this on mobile. So let's adjust this again, and you can see how it adapts to the different sizes there. And that's on every single page. We have different quiz question pages that provide feedback, and so we talk about that in the course. We have different multiple choice answers as well. We have fill in the blank answers where you can just fill in the blank right inside of there. We have drag and drop. So I drag and drop the different answers here. So I'm going to just do this real quick. And then it will provide us feedback showing us what's correct or incorrect. We have different drop down answers as well. I'm just selecting some random ones at this point. I can hit submit answer and see feedback and X's if for ones I got wrong, check marks for ones that I got right as well. We have true or false questions. We have a results page as well with an animated gauge there. We also have audio that plays an animation. And then if I come, let's go to the next page, we have accordions. These are all different components that I can mix and match and create different types of pages for in here. Now I did require it that you have to go through all different pages before you move on. So we talk about that inside of the course. We have a tab interaction. So we talk about the tab interactions. We talk about just text and image, different types of text and image. We talk about flip card interactions, which I also require them to complete it before you can move on. And it keeps track of all of that inside of the menu so we can see what we've completed and what the current page is and how much we have to do on that. We talk about this sliding accordion. And so watch this, how this actually adapts to the screen size as well. Instead of side to side, it actually is vertical in this case. So it adapts to the screen size pretty quickly as well. We talk about modals and different pop-ups that we can do. We also talk about different little trays that will come out. We can have that. We also talk about different carousels. And so adding a carousel. And we also talk about a different type of tab interaction. And this one was a little bit of a challenge on mobile. So I had to think through that inside of the course, but I walk you through that. But notice how it changes so the tabs are up on top. So that adapts automatically there. We then talk about the completion page and how it does that. We talk about resources, being able to add resources there. But here is the coolest thing. The coolest thing, in my opinion at least, is I'm inside of this course. We detect the user's language based on their browser. So we translated it and then detecting the user's language saying, oh, your default language is Spanish. And then what it will do is it will switch to Spanish automatically. Now the user can control and go back to English as needed. So if I come in here and come back to English, there it is. So I can swap between the two different languages if needed without having to have two separate projects. I've been doing custom courses like this for a long time. So to be able to create a course like this has been doable for a long time. It just makes it more accessible for more developers to be able to create these types of experiences. Like I mentioned, it makes sense sometimes to just use storylines. Same makes sense to use Rise. It makes sense to use Captivate. I'm not saying don't use those tools, but in some cases, depending on the type of experience you want to create, it may make more sense to create it here. All of this, we didn't touch a single line of code. I show you some of the code in order to know what's going on, but we don't touch a single line of code. We just basically use Claude to be able to create this entire experience. So if you want to create this type of experience, make sure that you check out a link in the description below. I'll link to my course there, and make sure that you get it before the early bird special is up as well. If you don't get it before the early bird special is up, that's fine. I do run different specials every other month, so you could come back and check that out. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in. Even if you don't go end up buying the course and you're just like, hey, this is cool. This is the type of development I would want to do. Or let's explore a little bit more of this in future YouTube videos as well. I just wanted to let you know that it's possible. You can create something like this, but it takes a lot of work. The course right now is already set at like 6 hours to be able to do this, which is a long time, but it's not something that just AI is going to do everything for you. You're going to have to think through some things and you're going to have to work with it back and forth. In my opinion, you become the director. And so it helps for you as the director to be able to direct your different workers on what you want, but you're the one that's guiding the output. And now you have a team of developers at your disposal to be able to create this type of content for you. If you want to check out more, head on over to my website at learningdojo.ninja. Here you can check out all my previous blog posts. You can also check out other courses that I have, just even vibe coding fundamentals or Articulate and JavaScript. You can download some free templates and you can join the community for free. And if you join the community for free, you get some additional resources here. And you also get to bookmark your different videos so you can easily come back to them as well. That's all I have for today. So thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.